Welcome to this Leadership Squared video. What employers can expect after COVID-19 restrictions are lifted. I'm your host, Jack McCalmon, founder of the McCalmon Group. Earlier this year, the McCalmon Group produced a video presentation entitled, What Employers Can Expect for 2020. The outbreak of COVID-19 and the subsequent government-mandated social and business operation restrictions have altered what employers can expect for 2020 and beyond. Consequently, we felt the need to release this video, What Employers Can Expect After COVID-19 Restrictions Are Lifted. The outbreak of COVID-19 and the shutdowns are transformational events that will affect employers in some way or another for years to come. One study estimates that at least 100,000 small businesses have closed permanently because of COVID-19. Hundreds of thousands of employers discharged, laid off, or furloughed workers, whereas just before the outbreak, the United States was at full employment. The U.S., at the time of this production, has a historic rate of unemployment at 13.3%. This monumental event has set off a chain reaction of other changes that will negatively affect employers for the near and long-term future. In addition to the sudden economic change, employers will have to make substantial changes to address a pandemic. We know today that COVID-19 is highly contagious and that some workers are at risk of life-threatening symptoms should they contract it. However, even after a vaccine is created, variants of COVID-19 or new viruses may appear that will require employers to continually adapt. Increasing the challenge is that the spread of the virus has not slowed down, which means it will persist and thus likely coincide with outbreaks of the seasonal flu, which can also be deadly. So in the future, employers may have to address two highly contagious and potentially deadly viruses at the same time. This new reality will require all employers to make infectious disease safety a priority, especially as to employees who are ill, who show symptoms of an illness, or have come into contact with someone who is ill, in addition to following CDC guidance as to proper hygiene practices, wearing masks, and social distancing. In response to the pandemic, many employers turned to telecommuting to protect employees as well as comply with government mandates. Many recent studies indicate that employees who worked from home after the shutdowns reported no significant drop in productivity, although there are a few studies citing home distractions as hurting productivity. Either way, many employees prefer telecommuting over reporting to a work site. As a result, many employers are considering telecommuting as a permanent option for some employees. A final change to note is that employee litigation will surge in 2020. With more employees unemployed, fewer employment opportunities are available. This means that while employers are addressing so many challenges because of the pandemic and the shutdown, the increased risk of employee litigation will be added to the pile. Employee litigation will come in different forms, many that are novel in their approach. They include employees and shareholders alleging employers were negligent as to how they addressed the COVID-19 crisis and/or employee safety. Compliance-related litigation related to federal, state, and local laws regulating employer responses to COVID-19. Retaliation claims by workplace participants alleging they were terminated for blowing the whistle on safety conditions or other virus-related employment practices. Wrongful termination claims by employees alleging they were terminated for refusing to come to work because they were ill, showed symptoms of illness, or were exposed to someone who was ill. Employment claims by employees alleging their employer did not invite them to return to work after reopening because of their age, disability, or other illegal reason. Charges that employers failed to accommodate employees with disabilities and pre-existing conditions as they relate to COVID-19, as well as disabilities caused by COVID-19 and charges based on employers' perceptions regarding COVID-19 disabilities and employees who contracted COVID-19. Charges that employers failed to allow older employees to return to work because of their susceptibility to severe COVID-19 symptoms, and retaliation claims related to employees refusing to put their personal or family safety at risk to return to work or other workplace activities, alleging they can be just as productive in the safety of their own home. 2020 will go down as one of the most transformational years ever as it relates to the workplace. But for now, employers simply want to know what they can do next. The McCalmon Group has created a COVID-19 resource page with more than 70 articles with guidance and advice on how employers can meet the upcoming challenges, including model policies, forms, podcasts, and more than 160 resource links. You can find the COVID-19 resources on the platform from which you access this video. Thank you for viewing this Leadership Squared video, What Employers Can Expect After COVID-19 Restrictions Are Lifted. This is Jack McCalmon of the McCalmon Group, wishing you the best in addressing the unique challenges of COVID-19 of today and the challenges to come thereafter.